And then there was this other thing that happened to him where the government started to recognize, started becoming aware of Project Paperclip. And he speaks about how the U.S. Marshals stormed his job.
Mr. Jesse Stallings, I left there wondering what I had just interviewed for, because they didn't outline my job description. They only were interested in how much money I wanted. That's it. And they wouldn't tell me what my job was going to be. And I didn't even know what I was interviewing for. They told me to show up for work Monday morning, and I did. They didn't even have an office for me. And so I politely asked Al Pittman what I'd be doing. He said, "You're going to be in charge of advertising." Oh, okay. That's a lot of money to pay an advertising manager. That's okay. He said, "No, you're director now, and we're going to promote you to vice president." Of course, that's kind of like a bank. Everybody's a vice president in the airline business. If you're in upper management, everybody's a vice president. There's no great distinction. So I said, "Well, that's great." He said, "Well, I'll introduce you to your employees." Well, I worked for Capitol. And then one day, federal marshals descended upon the building in 1976. I was going to Washington to a big gala affair for the travel and tourism. Donna Tuttle, who was undersecretary under Jimmy Carter, had invited me up, and I was being honored for my contributions to U.S. travel and tourism. I thought it was kind of nice until the U.S. Marshals came in, and they briefly asked me, by holding up a paperclip, what did I know about this? Well, I'm not real slow, but I told them, I said, I use them every day. I said, I got big ones, little ones, and I said, we've also got plastic ones. Well, oddly enough, he said, that's all I need to know. I thought, wow. I had some friends of mine that were U.S. Marshals, and that was back in the days when all they did was transport prisoners. And I used to play poker with them. That's when I lived in Atlanta working for Ampex. So I knew where their hot buttons were and what to say and what not to say. And so I asked the guy, I said, this is not consistent with the guy's level of intelligence. Why aren't you asking me about paperclips, man? Why don't you ask me about the real meat and potatoes, like my fountain pen? I said, what is this all about? He said, you're all need to know, and that's all you need to know. He said, you obviously don't know anything. I said, you got that.
All right. I wanted to share that for this reason, because it seems like there's, and I like to think this is what gives me hope for the future, is that there are some good guys trying to investigate this stuff, and that has been going on for a long time, that there's this, not a war, but how would you explain it? I don't know, like this underground civil war of the agencies where one is trying to stop the other from wreaking havoc all over the whole world. And what do you think about, is this going on, and has that been going on that long?
From my point of view,
Yeah.
the intelligence communities are quite divided, but they're compartmentalized anyway, because everybody's operating on a need to know, and this part doesn't know what this part's doing, and so it allows for the criminal activity very easy to go on right alongside of genuine people who are attempting to do good in the world, and are dedicated to humanity and our country. So there's definitely that aspect. And Mark's case, Mark was, which meant he wore every hat: FBI, CIA, NSA, Secret Service, Treasury, whatever he needed to be is exactly what he could be, because his clearance was so high. and his level was so high. So he saw a lot. He saw the good and bad in all of it, and he saw the interagency issues and everything else. And he also was aware of a level of global intelligence where Mark always said wisdom outthinks a criminal mind every time, and it does. Wisdom, because it has the soul, it has the whole expanded thought, and it definitely outthinks that linear criminal mind. And there's so many people in intelligence that have that wisdom, who are concerned about what's happening to humanity, who are very concerned with the erosion of free thought and the imposing of mind control. They're concerned about this handful, this cabal, this dark cabal that's been in control for so long, the puppet masters, so to speak, and wanted to expose them and expose this new world order. There's a huge global intelligence effort that wanted people like President Trump in office to help expose what's going on to the rest of the population, because people need to see it. It's part of a genuine great awakening on a global scale. The people have to be on board. Otherwise, what would it matter? It would just be someone higher up over the puppet masters, and you still got the same pyramid of power that, we've got to reach the critical mass. We've got to wake the people up and let them know. And as people are waking up, all they're seeing is the dark side for a moment. They need to, stop a minute, look further, and realize that we are by far the majority. Good people are the vast majority in this world. And this dark cabal, they are not like us, and they do not like us. And there's only a handful of them, but they have been manipulating minds for generations now, and they needed to be exposed. They've been exposed. And it's because of this higher level of intelligence and wisdom that knows, like I know from my life's experience, without free thought, there's no free will. With no free will, there's no soul expression. Without soul expression, we lose our moral compass.
Hey, if you like these kind of conversations and you'd like to see more, click like and subscribe to our channel. And if you're at the computer and you'd like to hear the whole podcast, click right here.